Hello, everyone. Who is getting ready for the holidays? I'm thinking about my holiday budget. Who will I be celebrating? How will I get there on time? Will the kids have enough rest? And goodness, do I have enough time to get a gift for everyone? The holidays can be really, really stressful, and we get that. My name's Sarah Belmonte. I am your mom mentor, founder of Moms Out Marketing and Design Remodel Pros. We are starting a Mom Life series today where we are going to help you have a stress-free holiday while making wonderful memories. So we've brought on our conscious coach, Sapna Rad, to be helping us with tips for stress-free holiday and with the kids. We understand that mom life can be a busy life, but we're here to help you through it. Welcome, Sapna. How are you?
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
Yes, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, guys. I'm Sapna Rad. I'm a conscious parenting coach and an NLP trainer, and I work with parents from all over the world, helping them connect with their children, have that, stress-free life where you have more time. You're spending more time enjoying you're with your children, having those communication skills, knowing what to say, when to say, and managing your own state. So you're so available now for your children, for your life, not just with your children, because when you bring those skills to your parenting, you take that skills to other areas of your life. So yeah, I'm the parenting success coach.
Thank you. Yes. And Sapna, you are Moms Out Marketing member. This Moms Out Marketing is all about supporting the whole mompreneur. So that's both, we give business trainings every month, but also we have to talk about mom life because that is to the core of who we are. So we're really excited to launch this Mom Life series. And what better time to do it than the holidays when there are so many things that we are thinking about and trying to juggle. And really to the core, I feel like we just want to create these lasting memories for our kids. So thank you for coming on and helping us. You have shared with me there is one foundation that we all need to create these beautiful memories. Can you tell me what it is?
Self-care. So, Sarah, I still remember a party a few years ago when my son was younger, and I wanted to throw, it was my turn. I was having a holiday party at my house, and I wanted it perfect. So what do? I start planning it days ahead, like the normal stuff, planning days ahead, getting things right, cleaning the home, getting the grocery, and then prep work. And I was not sleeping through the night. I wanted everything to be perfect on that day. So I was running errands. I didn't, another thing, I didn't want anybody to touch me because I wanted it my way.
He's like, please don't give me any input.
Yeah, don't tell me anything. No, you can't do this. You need to do things a certain way, and nobody wanted to do that. They wanted.
So, I'm guessing you didn't have the kids involved either.
No,
because they were just going to mess something up, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a husband involved because I'm like, I want it this way, and you're doing it that way. I don't want it. But come the day off, I was so stressed. It took over me, and I was dropping the ball everywhere. I was not up to the mark. I was tired and exhausted on the day off when I needed my energy most. And it showed on my face, sort of, because I was tired. I was not up to the mark. And so that's when I realized, in a part of my parenting journey, the big chunk was self-care, because it's not so much about all the things. Yes, it is about all the food and the decor and everything else, but the importance was the relationship, the memories you're making with your family, and I was missing the whole thing. So coming back, we need to put self-care first during
And
this.
I'll tell you, but hearing it said is it's almost like, what? It's just to do something for me in the middle of planning this, elaborate Thanksgiving dinner and trying to figure out, where are the kids going to all sit and how are they not going to make a mess on the new carpet I just laid? I mean, there's a lot to think about. So how do we kind of shift that mindset to say, yes, you need to take care of yourself while we're also in this struggle of, oh my gosh, what's next on, what other ingredient did I miss? You know what I mean? For this perfect special recipe, right?
Yeah. So when we do take those moments of self-care, it's like filling our cup for ourselves first, and whatever overflows, there's plenty for others, right? It's for others, whatever overflows from that cup. So prioritizing self-care helps us be available for others, and also we are modeling this to our children to prioritize self-care. Self-care is not selfish. First, we need to look into the belief systems we have bought, because sometimes we end up confusing self-care as selfish and we do not take care of ourselves. When we do, fill our cup, meaning we look into our own health, we look into our own mental health, we look into our own state we are more available, and we are not so stressed about small things,
Sure.
focusing more on important things like those memories and family time and building those connections.
Yes. And I have to tell you, I want to rewind and share that the holidays for me as a child, and I know I love my parents very much. They were stressful for me as a child. We were racing to thankfully I had my grandparents, we had my aunts and uncles, so we had several dinners to go to just for
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. And by the end of the day, my parents were exhausted. I was exhausted. And as much as I loved my belly full of this wonderful food, I didn't want to do it again. Like, I would love to have had it spread out or something. So it's something that I've had to talk with my husband about. And we've restructured how we're doing our holidays so that we don't feel exhausted at the end of the day.
Right.
Um, but it really took sitting down and kind of discussing what did we want our family, and how do you make those conversations with people, like even with your husband or your other family, where you're creating those boundaries? Are there ways that you can help us kind of kindly guide people, say, I'm sorry, I can't make the my special dressing this year, but I can bring XYZ? How do we have those conversations with family members who
Mm.
maybe push the boundaries?
Isn't that important? First, we have to sit down and take a note of what is important to us. Why
Yeah.
are we doing this, right? We need to keep the why at the forefront, because when we do that, we can follow through to that why. Memories, like for example, memories is the most important thing. Meeting those people you haven't met for a long time, you're connecting, isn't that the main goal of these
Mhm. Yeah,
holidays? I mean,
absolutely.
food comes next and other things
My
comes next.
favorite.
Yeah.
Me too.
And taking a note of our own capacity in terms of energy and the things we need to do, because we still have our work, a regular work schedule, we still have to take care of that, we still have to take care of our children and other things. So prioritizing that, and very in a very gentle way, this is what it is. It's not like you are drawing those hard boundaries, like, and putting the person in the defense state. It's about coming with that kindness as to, see, this year has been tough, or this year I have not been well, or this year I'm just having these priorities straight so I can be more available for the things that I love, and we can spend more time together rather than me stressing out, and you're not going to get the best of me, right? Being very open about it, being very clear about it for yourself first. We can only
No,
communicate to another when we are clear about it ourselves first.
and I like that. I think being able to say, I really want to enjoy the time that I have with you at Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to be able to do that, but I can do this. So that is a great way to preface it, because we do feel pulled in so many different directions as moms. That's just with maybe that may be with adult family, but what about with the kids?
Yes, having those conversations really helps, Sarah. Like if you have small children, having this conversation about what is going to happen, what they can expect, and when this happens, if you're feeling a certain way, how about we have a code word, or you show up a sign, like few moments that you can have with your child. You can have a timeout, and they can raise their hand, or show you a pink color, or it's like a sign
Mhm.
for them to take a break, and you can take a break and walk them out and have those conversations with them. Have those, you can put those like a framework on your fridge for children to remember what they need to do, what they can expect.
Okay.
Those rules on screen times, have those conversations way before, so you can put them in place, and you
Mhm.
don't have those last minute chaoses and those
And
conversations before. Yeah.
you're right, because I feel like when you take the children out of their own home, it seems like those rules and those boundaries kind of get stretched. Well,
Yeah.
Nana let me watch XYZ.
Yes.
And my cousin gets to play outside. Why don't I get to? Oh, because so I like the code word. Now, is the code word something you could use both for like, hey, don't ask any more questions. We already talked about this at home, or is the code word like the escape? Or can you
Mm.
use it for both?
Yes. Yeah, you can use it for, if you have older children, they can even text you
Okay.
certain words that they are comfortable with, and something that you can pick up on. Have those laid out way, way, way before, and practice if you need to in your own home. Have those practice sessions, so they
He-
know what it looks like.
I do have a code word with my husband. I've done that before where it's like, okay, it may be time to go. This is my code word because there's a little friction. Um, but I never really thought about it for the kids. And I mean, why shouldn't they feel just as protected as you are? So thank you for adding that tip in there. Now you also have an acronym or kind of
Mhm.
a framework that you use to help us remember self-care, correct?
Yes. So we'll just take the simple word self, SELF, self. So S stands for set those boundaries. Say no when you need to in a very kind, gentle way. Say no to things that you are not open to, you're not ready for. And people understand that when you're coming from that genuine energy. E stands for engage the whole family in the self care routine. Maybe you can have those self care jars where people can put in their own ideas for self care. And L stands for learn to prioritize. You need to know what is important. If we make everything important, we are going to fall flat. And so it's important to know, what if you have 10 things, I'm going to prioritize these first three things. These three things are very important to me. Even if you're going to a party, bringing food might be your priority, looking a certain way could be your priority. Whatever, just be clear on it, and have a backup plan to prioritize. And F stands for be flexible. Usually what happens is we have this high expectations for ourselves and for others, which could drain our energy. So be flexible, go with the flow, be ready for anything to happen. That way you're going to be in a better mood.
I like that. So S is set boundaries, E is
Uh-huh.
engage,
Mm-hmm.
L is learn
Learn to prioritize.
to prioritize. Okay, learn to prioritize, and F is flexible. Now, when you were talking about learn to prioritize, and there are some family members that are almost always late for the party, and it's usually even the ones they host. And I've noticed this, and now every time they're late, they come out and they are rested, and their face is all done, and they look beautiful. And what they were doing is they were spending their own time doing the self care. And I was like, "You just planned this party, and you look fabulous. I know you were late, but you look fabulous." And that was their priority, and it makes sense, because they should be there to be able to enjoy their own party. And I will tell you, I'm the one with disheveled hair, and which I will have a fabulous party because I love hosting, but my best self isn't being shown. I'm tired. I probably won't have makeup on. Um, so I really do need to kind of maybe rebalance, and reprioritize, because I do like being able to show up in my best self and make sure that my guests know that I'm willing to put into myself too. So that's something I'm learning.
Yeah, and being flexible, sometimes we might go over time, and having that capacity. Usually what happens is I like to be on time, even 5-10 minutes early. And when I'm late, I start judging myself. Oh my God, what are people are going to think? That I'm very, I'm all over the place. Maybe I'm not, I'm kept. So checking in those internal voices, because when I'm aware of that voice, I can tell my guests, hey guys, thank you for coming on time. I'm sorry I'm running late. Give me 10 minutes. I'm going to, while you guys catch up with each other, I'm going to run in and, get myself cleaned up. Simple. But if I'm
Right.
having those words and some kind of a lack that's showing up because I'm tired, I'm going to be worried about asking those 5 minutes for myself.
Mhm. And I like that, the willingness to let people know, hey, hand them a drink and say, I'll be right back. Y'all get to know each other, and I'm just gonna take a few minutes. So I mean, it sounds easy. It's more to just put it into action. And speaking about putting it into action, I know you have some small habits that you'd like to share with us also just for the self-care. And I think it's so important to break it down because we've already talked about, setting those boundaries, learning. But the problem is sometimes we need more time before we can get to that point.
Right. Right. And self care is just not those self indulgent activities. I'm talking about your mental health, your physical
Mhm.
health, workout, have those walks if you need to. And mental health comes from, just being aware of what's happening. It comes from mindfulness, having those gratitude talks or journals, and having this connection with yourself. Physical comes from your workout, being hydrated, having those nourishes meals, and being ready for the big day. And your social, a big part of self-care is those social interactions that you're going to have, social welfare and social connections that you're going to have. It starts from having those boundaries, um, letting yourself know what to expect, letting others know what to expect, and delegating. Don't put on too much on yourself. Know your energy level, know your capacity level, delegate. It's going to make your life so much easier.
Yes, and when you talk about delegating, I feel like so much of this is also something we can talk about for our business. I know we're all business owners too, many of us who are watching, and it's like we learn we need to delegate. We learn we need, I feel like delegation is a part of self-care very much. That's one I really, really tried to master. Um, but when
When it
we're thinking about like even planning for this, kind of go back into the great habits that you have for your business and your team. Like we call our family a team. Like, okay, team, what are we doing today?
Mm,
I'm talking to my little ones, and I'm like, all right. And so think about how you would kind of run your business. And if you run your business well, you can take those same characteristics and put them right into your family. I've actually been a business owner longer, so it's easier. So if you've been maybe had been a mom longer, then maybe translate those mom skills that you've gotten into your business. But
right.
don't forget about the many, many talents that you learned by having your business. What would you say about that, Swapna?
Yeah. Well, see, we are, so empowered when it comes to our business. We don't mind delegating, but when it comes to these home events, we
Mhm.
want it perfect. Like you want the cranberry sauce the way your grandmother made, which is fine. But sometimes,
Decorations. If my, oh, I shouldn't say it. If there are certain people who may offer to help, but it's going to be crooked, and that's going to, oh, my OCD may go crazy.
yes. And be fine with it. If that's important, that's fine. Make sure you do that, and you can give your mashed potatoes to somebody else.
There you
Make
go.
sure you know what you want.
Okay. Yeah. So really going back to that, learn to prioritize the L in your acronym that you gave us.
Yeah,
I
but
like.
I'm saying this sometimes it's so hard, Sarah. It's a practice for me because my son's birthday party is what I'm planning now, and I wanted everything to be perfect. I want the decor to be a certain way. I want the food to be a certain way. I want the cake to be a certain way. And I'm like, no,
Yes.
you need to practice. What are you ready to let go? I'm like, It's okay if the decor is not as I want it to be. What is important is the kids have fun, meaning what they have some games and the food. So I'm prioritizing two things, and I'm going to go easy on the other things.
I think the other thing I want to reiterate to everyone watching is that stressfulness that we feel is really our love. It's a love because you want to have
Mhm.
that perfect timing. You want to have everything just right. So don't deny that those feelings. That's good. Just choose where you want to put that energy, because it's wonderful to have a beautiful party and memory, and it makes you feel good. But also, if you're feeling tired on the day and not able to fully experience the memory,
Mhm.
then we need to reevaluate. So don't like get discouraged if you're feeling stressful. We all feel stressful at this time, but it's really kind of like you said, reprioritizing, choosing what's most important. And I think having that conversation before with your family helps. Not waiting till the day of, and then and finding where do you want to think about it. Where do you want to express your love mostly in? And the other things will get taken care of, just maybe a little bit differently this season,
Yes.
right?
And
So
take one thing you want to do for self-care today, maybe having that warm cup of tea before you start your work, listening to your favorite music, maybe just 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, putting your feet on the grass to be grounded. It sets off the mood for what you want to do for the rest of the day.
absolutely, thank you, and it's important to take that. Now, what if someone says, "I don't think 5 minutes is enough"?
Well, you can take as much. I'm going with the minimum. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, anybody can do. You want to take longer? Yes, go take that bath, the long bath that you needed. Just go for that facial massage. All those do help, but most importantly, connect with yourself. What are you feeling
Mhm.
today? Are you stressed? What do you need? Ask for what you need. Maybe you need your husband to or your spouse to step in and give you that 20 minutes. Ask for what you need. Those are all part of your self-care routine.
Yes, and I think what I've learned is when I give myself even 1 to 5 minutes, when I start doing that, then it helps recharge me to know what else I need. But until I make those first few minutes, I can't even think. Right? So,
Breaths. Take those deep breaths. Those are going to be one of your biggest tools.
that was something I was thinking about actually this week. I was like, God has given us the perfect tool that we don't even have to leave the room with. We have our breath, it's automatic, but it's learning how to slow that breath down. And once we do that, then we can really reassess what else we need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
thank you so much, Sapna. Oh, go ahead.
now, have you seen? If I would ask you to close your eyes for a few minutes and
Okay,
describe
yeah.
to me what a stressful person would look like. Just tell me,
Mm,
how would that person look like? You're seeing somebody who's
um,
really stressed. What
mhm.
would be their physical attributes? Maybe
Okay.
their shoulders are stumped. Their
Yeah, shoulders down. I feel like their bags are kind of like just hanging off them. Clothes is just hanging off, just kind of limpless and
what
lifeless.
do you think? How do you think they're breathing if they're stressed?
I feel very shallow. Like I
Yeah.
can't even see them breathing almost, is what I was visualizing.
Right. So the opposite is true. Right now, if you want to shift from that, we cannot
Mhm.
be stress free within few minutes, but we can shift these physical aspects to get you there. Now, if you're breathing shallow, you're feeling stressed. At the same time, if you start doing those deep breathings, it's a quick. Quickly, it's going to shift your mood. If you stand up straight, it's going to shift your state of being. Right, just few little shifts and you can move from one state to another state, because when this is true, when you're feeling this, it shows up physically. So change the physical so you start feeling differently.
All right, I like it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sapna. Now, this is just an introduction because we're going to be talking about more Mom's Life series that's happening right now. So we'll see you soon, Sapna. If people want to connect with her, this is her information at sapnarad.com. And you can connect with any of her socials at Sapnarad Coaching. See you soon, Sapna.
Thank
To the
you.
next series. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, this wouldn't be possible without mom membership and mom sponsors. If you'd like to know more of how to get involved, I'd like you to visit www.momsoutmarketing.com. We'd love to support the whole mompreneur. If you want to reach more people, definitely send us an email and we'd love to chat more. So we'll also be talking more about the holidays and how to relieve some stress. So we talked a little bit about breathing techniques, but we can make those breathing techniques even more efficient. And you'll find out at our next series when we have our guest speaker. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Have a blessed one.